So, continuing the trend of me being fashionably late to every party ever, bringing you yesterday's news today, as I'm so fond of saying. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Portland WNBA expansion team's announcement of their new name and new logo. As I'm sure most of you have heard by now, they'll be bringing back the Portland Fire name, 23 years after the original Portland Fire last played in the WNBA. With everything that's changed in this league and in women's sports in general all these years, it's a safe bet that this version of the Fire will stick around a bit longer. But we're not here to talk about franchise stability. It's all about the aesthetics today. First, the name. Opinions on the name seem a bit divided, but the original team was trying to go for something adjacent to the Blazers of the NBA, and I really can't knock that. And if any of you saw my last video on the Portland expansion team, after the expansion team was first announced, I mentioned that the prospective owner of that team insisted on calling them the Rose City Royalty, which would have been the worst name in the history of professional sports, and there have been some stinkers. In addition to being such an awful name, the initial expansion was actually canceled largely because of that. So basically, the Fire name is fine. A little bit generic, but again, it's a good counter to the Blazers name, and it's way better than, what else it could have been. I really like the word mark as well. It's different, it's unique. According to the Fire's website, the Portland Fire word mark is inspired by the 12 bridges that connect our city, crafted from the organic beauty and architectural precision of the bridges that brings our community together, intentional letter forms that keep Portland weird. I really appreciate how much of the city's identity they're throwing into the branding. Starting immediately with the Keep Portland Weird slogan, drawing on the city's counterculture, emphasis on individuality, self-expression, supporting local business. And if you look closely, the A and the F in the word mark looks like there's rose thorns sticking in them, or out of them, which is pretty fitting since roses are very central to the city's identity. Portland is often called Rose City or the City of Roses, so it totally makes sense. And speaking of roses, this logo is just really cool. It's a rose with a flame pattern. This really doesn't need an explanation. I mean, look at it. It's badass. They even throw in a reference to their arena, the Moda Center. It's very blink and you miss it, but it's there. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And it looks like some versions of the logo have the red fading to pink. Mostly it's going to be on merchandise, but I can definitely see this being maybe like on the court or on the walls of the arena or something. I think that's pretty cool looking. And finally, there's the alternate logo. It's the letter P, with a silhouette of Mount Hood at the top. I really like this logo. It makes it kind of look like a logo you would see on like a minor league baseball hat, which I always love. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. If I lived in Portland and I was a fan of this team, I would definitely want that logo on like a baseball cap. I would wear it literally everywhere. Oh, wait, it already is. Okay, never mind. I want that hat and I want it now. I don't even have an Atlanta Dream hat and I want this. So this is about as good of a branding as they could have done now that I look into it. The colors, the logo, it's kind of amazing. I appreciate how they seem to have borrowed elements from the Blazers and the Thorns, the Portland Thorns of the NWSL, and they basically just took it, ran with it, and made it their own. It's very detailed, but not overwhelmingly so. Whoever came up with all of this deserves one hell of a payday. And it makes me wonder what kept the Toronto team from doing literally anything good with their own branding. But you know what? I already did a video on that, so I'm not going to dive into that here. The Portland Fire begin in 2026, next season, alongside the Toronto Tempo, then Cleveland in 2028, Detroit in 2029, and Philadelphia in 2030. We're going to have 18 teams in only 5 years' time. That's amazing. And who knows, maybe even more in the works after that. I'm still holding out hope for my hometown of St. Louis, but I know that's not much to hope for. For now, I think a more realistic hope is that the Cleveland, Philly, and Detroit teams don't skimp out on the branding like Toronto did. But staying in Portland, just last month they surpassed 10,000 season ticket deposits. Portland has always been a very women's sports friendly city, and a WNBA team is absolutely way overdue, and they're finally getting it. And now they have a really badass name and a badass look to it. I certainly look forward to seeing what their jerseys look like, how they play on the court, and whatever happens next, I'll be here to talk about it, and I'll see you then.